people with a defense mechanism typically are ghosters. They ghost people because they're just little bitches. They're little bitty bitches, and they can't handle the truth. They can't handle real life situations like adults should. They can't have those deep conversations. They can't listen to your cares and concerns because they take them as you punishing them, as you coming down on them, as, feeling not good enough. And again, it all stems back to their childhood traumas. Typically, their parents couldn't resolve conflict in their household. There was a lot of criticizing, a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming, a lot of just nobody ever handled conflict. It was very immature. They weren't allowed to share their feelings, or if they did, it was just like, that shouldn't bother you. So these people they never learned how to communicate as an adult and have difficult conversations. They like it for everything to just be swept under the rug. There's always an elephant in the fucking room. They have a lot of narcissistic personality traits, which, by the way, you have to have more than half of the narcissistic personality traits to be a narcissist. These people are not narcissists typically, but they do have narcissistic personality traits. And one of them is lack of empathy. It's pretty much gone when it comes to that defense mechanism kicking in. In fact, these people have very low empathy in general. Hello, Janna here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm recording back to back from last week's episode. So I'm recording from my car during my youngest son's soccer practice. And that allows me to get some work done, be productive. And, it's coming towards the end of the year, believe it or not. And a lot of people take off work. And so I need to make sure that my production team, hello, Kiva. Hello, Yasharo. I need to make sure my production team has time to get everything edited and make it look all good, sound great, so that they can have time off when that comes. And so anyways, I am just making the most of it. So if you are typically a watcher on YouTube, first of all, thank you. But it's just audio this week, and I'm not using my fancy equipment. I'm in my car with my laptop. So I'm just making the best of it. If you listen to last week's episode, thank you. Then you also know I just ended that by talking about how, hey, stay tuned to next week's episode right now. And I'm going to discuss even further detail about defense mechanism. And so that's what I want to talk to you about. The destruction of the defense mechanism. Yeah, this is just a hot topic for me right now. It's been way too close to me in my life in the recent years. And I have literally watching the destruction of it. And it's fucking sad. It's infuriating. And there's nothing you can do about it, because when you try to tell a person that's defensive, hey, your defense mechanism's kicking in and whooping your ass and killing this relationship. When you try to tell them that, it just makes it worse, because when they are in that defense mode, all they do is see red. And I call them insecure little bitches, and they are. And because these are adult people, and you're not an adult when you have a defense mechanism and you are reacting to people, making assumptions of people, of situations, assuming things, making decisions to live in your life based upon these assumptions, these wild accusations, these defense mechanisms that are stemming from a wound from your fucking childhood. Grow the fuck up. Seriously. You can't have a serious relationship with these people because they can't stand the heat. And my mama had a saying, hey mom, if you're listening, love you. My mama had a saying in her kitchen growing up, which was, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. That's the fucking truth. Okay? And look, I had little bitch tendencies at one point because I had a defense mechanism. But my defense mechanism was created off of those insecurities and fears, those limiting beliefs that I shattered and I did the work on. But I never had a defense mechanism that was like what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these people who, their defense mechanism, and they built a fucking 1,000-foot stone wall around themselves. They made a promise to their little bitch selves a long time ago, their little fucking little baby ego, that they would never let anybody, I'll never let anybody hurt me again. Never. And unfortunately, They view anyone in any situation, anything that makes them feel like they've done something wrong, they messed up, they're not chosen, you're going to abandon them. Like anything that makes them in that protective defensive mode, they see red and that's it. And they literally fly off the handle. They get into a rage. They recluse. They close themselves off from the world. They typically ghost you. They don't give a fuck if it's a family affair, a family trip that was planned for the weekend. If it's Thanksgiving, if it's Mother's Day, if it's, one of your kids' birthdays, Halloween, they don't care. They don't care what was planned with friends, what was planned in general. They don't give a fuck. They don't give two fucks. It's like they don't exist in your life anymore. And they do that because, so let me say something real quick. People with a defense mechanism, typically are ghosters. They ghost people because they're just little bitches. They're little bitty baby bitches and they can't handle the truth. They can't handle real life situations like adults should. They can't have those deep conversations. They can't listen to your cares and concerns because they take them as you punishing them, as you coming down on them, as feeling not good enough. And again, it all stems back to their childhood traumas. Typically their parents couldn't resolve conflict in their household. There was a lot of criticizing, a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming, a lot of just nobody ever handled conflict. It was very immature. They weren't allowed to share their feelings, or if they did, it was just like, that shouldn't bother you. So these people just never learned how to communicate as an adult and have difficult conversations. They like it for everything to just be swept under the rug. There's always an elephant in the fucking room. They have a lot of narcissistic personality traits, which, by the way, you have to have you have to have more than half of the narcissistic personality traits to be a narcissist. These people are not narcissists typically, but they do have narcissistic personality traits, and one of them is lack of empathy. Is pretty much gone when it comes to that defense mechanism kicking in. In fact, these people have very low empathy in general. They just do, because it's hard for them to feel what other people feels and how that might affect people. Because it takes them to a place of like, oh, I don't know how to deal with my emotions. Oh, I'm a little kid stuck on the playground still, even though I'm 50 fucking years old. They just don't know how to deal with those types of feelings, that are serious, that are deep. And, unfortunately, you can't have a relationship, especially with a real woman who's done the work. Right? You can't have a relationship with these people, and you'll kill yourself trying to do it because, it's painful. Fuck, it's painful, because you know what a good person they are. You know their potential, and you see when you've done the work, when you've healed your mindset, when you've shattered your limiting beliefs, you see it so fucking clearly, and you know that, man, if they did the work and they shattered their limiting beliefs, they figured out what's making them have this defense mechanism. Oh my God, this would be beautiful. This would be the most beautiful dream fucking relationship ever. This person would be a better parent. This person would be a better husband, a better wife. This person would be a better friend. Just their life in general, the happiness that they would have. And you see it. It's really hard to get someone with a defense mechanism to not defend themselves when you're trying to point it out. My experience with these people is that, sorry, there was somebody behind me that's standing next to their car. The alarm's going off. Anyways, if you heard the honking, but it's really, really hard. It's hard to be around these people because at any moment something's going to trigger them. And you're like, I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know what the fuck just happened. And they literally just made this wild, crazy assumption. And you weren't gonna invite me, or you don't care if I'm there. Or whatever dumb shit they come up with. And they act more immature than a true fucking 8-year-old. And they make assumptions and will assume things and yell and scream and talk over you and never ever even ask you, what is the truth here? Is this what you meant? This is how that made me feel. I know that wasn't your intention. It's like they don't know you anymore because they assume the worst about you and you're just left blindsided. Like, what the fuck just happened? Like, seriously, what happened? And then they ghost you. It might be your own husband, your wife, your best friend, your sibling. I don't know. Your coworker, and they ghost you. And then because you're the rational person, right? That's done the work. You've healed your mindset. You've shattered your limiting beliefs. And you're just like, what the fuck just happened? I need to call them because like, I don't think they quite understand that that's not what took place. That's not what happened. So I'm going to call them and clear them up because you're level headed and you just know this person must have been having a bad day. Cause like, I don't know what they were thinking. And that person, if you're able to get a hold of them, they typically like to stick to text messages where they can rant at you and not believe anything you say. They really need you to come after them, and you almost like you have to say you're sorry for things you didn't do. And my best advice is don't fucking do it. Stop babying these little fucking bitches. You know what? I used to do it even in recently where I'd be like, look, I'm sorry, but like, that's not, and it's all you have to say and everything goes back to normal. Well, fuck that. That's not a fucking healthy relationship. I don't want to be in a fucking relationship with someone I have to treat like a baby. I had 3 motherfucking kids. I didn't adopt a fucking 4th that's a grown-ass fucking adult. Okay? This isn't adopt a fucking adult day. It's just hard to have relationships with these people. The defense mechanism is the destruction of all relationships. You can't have a healthy relationship that's good and healthy with anyone that has an unhealed defense mechanism. You can't do it. Not fucking possible. You can, but at surface level, you're going to walk on fucking eggshells and then it just kills the relationship. You know why? Because this person you once could talk to and they were your best friend and they understood you and didn't make assumptions is now does all of it. You can't tell them anything because even if it seems like they're sweet and they're listening in the moment, they filed that in their little baby bitch Rolodex up there to like, I'm going to use that against them later. These people always like some sort of ammo because they're defensive little bitches. That's what I'm going to call them. Defensive little bitches. But yeah, these people destroy their own relationships. And what's sad is they don't even know it. Now, what's amazing is that if you're in a situation where you have proof, like, oh, my Ring cameras got it, or whatever it was, maybe there were other witnesses in the room who are like, can tell that person that's literally not what they said. That's literally not what took place. They don't even, it has to almost be like more than one person. It's a bystander that can tell this person, dude, that's not what happened. And at that point, well, that's what I thought. But it sure seemed like it. I mean, they are hard to give it up on their fucking defense because that hurts them more that they made themselves look stupid. But yeah, I mean, people will go full rage. They will leave you, cut you out of their life, take you off their social media, then ghost you. And your natural response as an unhealed, mature adult, as a healed, mature adult, is to go after them in the sense of like, they lost their fucking marbles. But after time and time again, and it just happening over and over again, it wears you down. And you have that happen with somebody like me, who is a very strong, independent woman with a lot of testosterone. And, you know, I've done the work and I have a fucking pretty goddamn bulletproof mindset. And I'm a bad bitch in a lot of ways. And I don't put up with shit. But I'm one of those people who I do put up with a lot from the people I really love and care about to a certain extent. But let me tell you something. When I reach that fucking point, that's it. That is it. And my threshold for it, my patience for it, my rope, so to speak, and what I'm going to give somebody in the length of what you're going to get away with, it gets shorter by the day. And I will never give these people what they want ever again in my life. I no longer do. Run with your assumptions, motherfucker. Live with them. One day you're going to feel like a dumbass. You're going to feel stupid and like an idiot when you realize you lost the best thing you ever had. When you realize you were in the wrong. How much hell would that be to realize that you literally have lived with assumptions that lost you some of the best things ever in life because of your defense mechanism? If you constantly find yourself just, I gotta defend. My friends, do the work. Go from insecure little bitch to grown-ass mature adult. Just like that. That sounded like a fucking QVC commercial. You know, it's not overnight. Money back guarantee. But why live your life that way? Besides, whatever you don't get rid of and whatever you don't heal here in this life, my friends, it's going to be right there for you in the next one. Don't lose any more than you've already lost. And, you know, if you're wondering, well, how do I know if I have a defense mechanism? Well, here's one way. When you listen to someone talk, do you find yourself scanning every little word that they say to defend? Like you listen to defend instead of listening to understand. You listen to defend instead of listening to understand. When you listen to someone, are you trying to listen to, what do I need to defend? What do I need to defend? What is it? What do I need to defend? What do I need to contradict? Boop, 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 boop. If that's you, Jesus, fuck. You're a difficult person to have a conversation with. And you're going to be your own demise. You're destroying a lot of things in your life that are really good for you. Losing relationships that maybe be the best thing that's ever happened to you. But you're too blind to see it because having a defense mechanism, my friends, is blinding. And you can't see what you really, really have. And you're blinded by insecurities and fears and limiting beliefs and defense mechanism. My friends, do the work. You got one fucking life to live. One life. And if you need help, guess what? I know of a #1 best-selling book called Unfuck Your Mind by Janna Johnson, aka me, that'll get you going, get a fire lit under your ass, and give you the roadmap to your own healing. Love you all. Could be Thanksgiving week when you're listening to this, so happy fucking Thanksgiving. Talk to you soon.